All right. So we are live. Hello, hello, hello. I'm taking my earrings off so they don't make any weird little clanging noises against these AirPods. Um, Hi. Hello. Come on in. Um, I wanted to come in and talk about something that I get asked about very often. Um, and that is, do you have to go online to attract love? Do you have to date online? Is online dating the only way to do it? Essentially, is what people want to know. So I'm going to, right now, I'm just going to my different groups just to make sure that I'm actually live in those places because that would be great if that was happening. All right. Let's see. Is it really happening? I don't know. Yeah, so that's what's happening. So the question I get asked really often is, if I want to date, if I want to find my right person, do I have to go online? And I often get asked this question by someone who hates the thought of going online with the fire of a thousand suns. And the question is always asked because we get this, there's this assumption that's kind of made that we have to go online. The idea is like we've got to go online or because that's just how it's done, right? That's just how it is, that's just how it's done. And for people my age who are in their mid 40s, we remember a time where online dating was not the thing. For people who are more in their 30s, it's like, of course, you go online, right? And so, if that's the kind of thing where you're just wondering, is that just how it is? Is that just what modern love is all about? Is that what modern dating is all about? Is that the only way you find someone? And if it is, I'm screwed because I hate it. If that's your thought process, I have some really good news for you because what I'm going to talk to you about today are the three ways that you do meet your right person that have nothing to do with going online. You do not have to go online. I promise you, you don't have to do it. People have been meeting and falling in love and getting married and building lives together since way before any dating app ever existed. And so, no, it is not a requirement for you to have to do that. In fact, it is way more likely that you're going to meet your person in one of these three ways. Now, there is sort of a prerequisite to this. You'll meet your partner, you're probably about 90% likely, from what I've seen in working with hundreds of women, you're about probably 90% likely to meet your partner in one of these three ways. But the caveat is that you need to do deep energy clearing, right? You need to clear out your your limiting beliefs about what's possible for you, and you need to take responsibility for healing. You know, you need to be able to clear out your patterns, right? Your old patterns. The reason that you're seeing the same thing show up in your love life over and over and over again isn't because that's all that's out there in the world. It's because that's what's going on in your energy. You're seeing what you believe is true about love. You're seeing that manifest in the world as an experience. And if you are experiencing that over and over and over again, but other people aren't, it's because of your specific belief, right? You're the common denominator in that situation. So there is something about your beliefs that is drawing that into your experience. You may have a belief that says all men cheat. You may have a belief that says as I get older, the dating pool gets smaller. You may have a belief that says I need to lose weight before I can attract someone who I would be attracted to. You may have a belief that says, um, because I am well paid and well educated, men are intimidated by me. There are a lot of beliefs that are really common that I find really often in the women that I work with. And once those things are cleared, it really opens the way energetically for all of this other stuff to come in for you. Um, Hi. If we haven't met before, hi. I'm Carissa Montooth, and I help high achieving single women 35 and older attract their right partner. Most of my clients, almost 90% of my clients, are in happy, committed relationships within 6 months of our work together, and I specialize in tough cases. Um, so, this is what I find when we do the deeper energy work. The reason that I have such a high success rate with my clients in getting not only helping them to attract that love, but helping them to sustain that relationship is that we don't just do dating hacks. We don't just talk about what app you should be on or where you can meet people or you getting yourself out there more. It's not just about those things. Energy is crucial. Energy is 80 to 90% of it. And once we get that in order, it's like you turn on your natural magnetism for love. So once you do that, the three ways that you see people come in are pretty simple, actually. And once I explain them, I'm sure you're going to see them. You're going to see examples of that in your life and with your friends and different things like that. Um, so the first way, and these are in no particular order, they're each is as likely as the next. Um, the first way is that someone from your past shows up in your life now in a new way. So an example of that would be like somebody that you maybe had a crush on in high school or something like that, but they were with someone else at the time, or you didn't know that they actually had a crush on you too. And they find you maybe on Facebook or something like that. That's one of the ways. And another kind of example of that would be like maybe if at an earlier point in your life, maybe you each were married, had young kids, those kids were friends, and maybe you guys were friends. And later on in your life, maybe you're both divorced, and now you're actually both available. So that's an example of someone from your past kind of coming back into your life and showing up in a new way. And that's a really exciting thing to have happen. And sometimes people think that I'm saying go out and make one of these three things happen. I'm not actually saying that. What I'm saying is when you deal with what's going on in energy at that deep level, when you're clearing out your limiting beliefs, when you are um, very clear about what it is that you want to have from love, and when you are creating new beliefs that everything is possible for you in love, when you are healing your wounds from the past, the fear, the confusion, the shame, the anger, the grief, all of those kinds of wounds, when you cut cords with exes, which is another thing that we do in energy when I'm working one on one with my clients. When you do those things, hey Sonia, hi love, it's good to see you, hon. When you're doing those things, then one of these three ways is how the person's going to come into your life, and it's really really easy. So that first thing we were talking about was someone from your past and them coming back and showing up in your life in a new way. The second way is when someone from your present actually shows up in your life in a new way. So an example of that would be like somebody that you work with, um, and you've never been attracted to them before, but once you do a little bit of deeper healing, suddenly you're able to see them in a new way. You're able to take them seriously. And they've been kind of pursuing you for a while, but you didn't maybe take them seriously. And now you can because you are not because maybe they were a nice person, and you really used to drama. Drama in love felt familiar to you. You might have had a limiting belief that said love is hard. I have to work hard. I have to jump through hoops. And this person was just kind of emotionally healthy, emotionally available, and emotionally mature and just right there for you. And so since they didn't feel familiar to you, you didn't see them, you didn't notice them, you didn't give them a chance, because it didn't feel familiar to you to be treated well and to be in a healthy, no drama kind of a relationship. So once you've done that deeper energy work and you've addressed those things, someone who's in your life right now can show up in a new way to you, like you're actually able to see them in a different way. And that's a really exciting thing. And the third way is that you're going to be introduced by a mutual friend. And it's nobody that you can't imagine right now what that would be. It's almost impossible to think like, what friend do I know who's probably going to introduce me to my right person, right? But when you've done the work in energy, it happens kind of easily. Like you don't need to go out and try to make it happen, you know? That's one of the things that is um so powerful of a mindset shift when it comes to love. You don't make love happen, you make love welcome. And you make it welcome by doing those deeper shifts in energy. You make it welcome by actually devoting your time to your healing, your time and your energy to your own healing, so that you can not only attract that relationship, but so that you can sustain that relationship, right? Because the things that we did before in older relationships, the things that we did before in love, are not the things that are going to help us have healthy relationships now that are actually sustainable for us, right? The ways we responded in the past of like just um, trying to give more of ourselves. A lot of times, if you have a pattern that has to do with achieving, it comes from a dynamic with your parents that had to do with like you having to go above and beyond in order to receive um, affirmation from your parents or positive reinforcement from your parents, or to feel that they actually were proud of you and noticed you and loved you, you know. Or you may have had a situation where you were kind of a parentified child, like you were taking care of everyone. And that can also then make it so that when you're dating later on, your love to you feels like caretaking. And it's very easy for you to kind of fall into a caretaking role in a relationship. And you don't want a project, you want a partner. But it can be really hard to get out of that dynamic because it feels familiar. It's like love and caretaking become deeply associated and connected in our minds and in our energy. And we have to detangle those things and clear out that association. And a lot of times it feels like, we're trying to do that in these different ways. A lot of times we'll try to use affirmations, or we'll just try to make mindset changes, mindset shifts. And the issue is it's very difficult to do that kind of a thing. Hi, Sarah. Hi, love. Hi, Sabrina. It's good to see you, Cases. So a lot of times we will do that where we try to, especially I've noticed this because so many of my clients are very high achieving, well educated, well paid women, and they're amazing women who have achieved really important milestones in their lives. They're where they want to be in their career, or they're close to that. Often they own their own home. They have wonderful friends. They are traveling. They're doing all these things. They're kind women with giant hearts. And it's like the missing piece is the relationship. The missing piece is love, you know? And so when we're in that situation, a lot of times what we do as very intelligent women who are high achieving, who are very successful, is that we keep trying to turn it around, turn the problem around and look at it from different angles and go, well, if it's not this, maybe it's this. Um, if it's not a thing of, if they're actually out there, maybe I need to put myself out there. Maybe there actually are compatible men out there, but I just need to do this in a different way. We keep kind of just looking for another take on it, another perspective, because we're used to our intellect being able to solve huge problems for us. But often, when we're not attracting that person, it's not an intellectual issue, it's not a conscious mind issue. It's that we have things going on in our energy that are making that difficult for us, that are creating obstacles for us, that are attracting the same disappointment to us over and over again. And so it's very difficult sometimes for us to understand and accept, as really high achieving and successful women and brilliant women, that our intellect cannot solve all of our problems, because most of the time it does. But when it comes to love, you don't make love happen, which is making things happen is what our intellect excels at. But we don't make love happen. With love, we don't make it happen, we make it welcome. So that requires energy shifts, that requires energy healing, that requires clearing things away, that requires deep forgiveness, and being able to release patterns, forgiveness of ourselves. It requires us to be aware of what our deep-seated beliefs about love are. Do we believe that love is scarce? Is that a belief that we hold really, really deeply within us? Do we believe that we have to jump through hoops for love? Do we believe that we can't have everything at the same time in life? That we can't have love and health and money and be using our gifts in the world? You know, Florence Scovel Shinn calls that the perfect square of life: health, wealth, love, and success. And she defines success as us being able to use our God given gifts out in the world, right? So, if a lot of times we'll have a belief that says, well, nobody gets to have all those things at once. We might have a belief that says anyone who would be high enough in quality for me to be attracted to them wouldn't be attracted to me unless I changed. Like, I need to become some better version of myself in order to attract someone whom I would actually be attracted to. It's just, we just have these different beliefs that can be very powerful, and they drive 80 to 90% not only of what we choose to do, the behaviors that we choose, but also what we actually manifest, what we draw towards us in energy. 80 to 90% of that is impacted by the things we believe on a very deep level. And our conscious mind and subconscious mind are terrible at agreeing on what they believe. So very often we'll find that we'll have a belief in our conscious mind, and I will look for it in a client. I'll connect energetically, or I'll ask her to do some muscle testing so that we can see what she actually believes on a deep level. And she'll be kind of telling herself a particular story in her conscious mind, but we'll go down and do muscle testing, which tells us what's happening in the subconscious mind, and find that that's not actually something that she believes. It's just a story she's been telling herself over and over again. Or we'll find that consciously she doesn't believe something or isn't telling a particular story, but subconsciously, this is what we find more often than not, subconsciously she does believe something like love is scarce, or love is hard, or I have to uh, jump through hoops for love. I have to pay for love in some way. Or my standards are too high. There's nobody out there that meets that. My standards are unrealistic. Or I am not enough in my feminine energy for me to attract a man who's in positive masculine energy. We have a lot of these beliefs, and a lot of them come to us. My degrees are in psychology and in counseling, and I'm also a sixth generation healer. So there are two different worlds, and I only share the things with my clients that connect in both of those worlds. When I work with people, I never say, "Oh, just take it, just take it for granted that this thing's going to happen, even if you don't see any changes." We always look at, we always use scientifically verified energy clearing and healing procedures, the kinds of things that, we can use to counter PTSD or insomnia or uh, weight loss or different health issues. We use scientifically verified energy healing and clearing procedures for that, to make changes that are not just about making new choices, but that are also about your beliefs shifting enough that they attract a new reality into your life, which is a really powerful thing. So, yeah, we can have a lot of these different beliefs, and we clear those things out. And then once we clear those things out, that's what we start to see, is that someone from your past shows up in your life in a brand new way. And my client Amanda is someone who that happened with. I always love to tell Amanda's story because it gives me goosebumps every time I tell it. So I was connecting energetically with Amanda, and we had done some deep energy clearing work. And I saw a picture in my mind of Amanda with the sunshine streaming down on her. So I could see she was obviously outside. I could see she has like blonde hair, and I could see it shining. The sun was shining through her, like she was backlit. And I asked her if there was somewhere she could go outside that was peaceful for her. I was just like, you need to get outside. I just really felt strongly like I knew she needed to get outside. So I asked her, was there somewhere she could go? And she said that there was a creek kind of close by her house that she liked to go to when she wanted to meditate or she wanted to do journaling or something like that. So she got off of the call, she got off of our video call, and she went out to her car and she backed out of her driveway and she almost hit someone with her car. She just didn't see him there. She almost hit him. So she's just completely like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening. She stops the car, she gets out, she runs back around, and she sees the person, and he looks up at her and he says, Amanda? And she looks at him and she's like, Kiernan? Oh my God. And it turned out that he was someone who she had been friends with for a really long time, didn't live that far away from her. A couple years before then, she had house sat for him. So someone she knew, but she just hadn't really seen or thought of in a really long time. And he was frequently like, he would go for a walk and he'd walk every day, he'd walk past her house, not knowing that that was her house. And every day when he made his walk past her house, it was usually really early in the morning or something like that. And so she never, she didn't see him. She was usually asleep. So, uh, they obviously she was just like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Like, I can't believe that this happened. I'm so sorry, And but they connected and they started, I think she, if I remember the details correctly, I think she offered to buy him dinner to like apologize for almost hitting him with her car. And then they just started dating and became kind of inseparable. And at one point, um, he wanted to give her a key to his house. And he was looking at her keychain and he found that um, one of the keys on her keychain actually fit his lock for his house. And he was like, oh, that's really weird. You already have my key on your keychain. And they realized that when she house sat for him a few years previous, she hadn't he hadn't asked for the key back and she just hadn't thought of it. So the whole time she had, while she was, at the last, she had done the house sitting, right? And then she'd been dating and she'd gone through broken hearts and she'd gone through disappointment and she'd gone through healing and all these things. And the whole time she did that, this person's key was literally on her keychain the whole time. And while she was sleeping, he was walking for his normal daily walk back and forth past her house almost every day. So when I tell you that things can change in love by doing energy work, by shifting, because you change what you attract into your experience. It's not a matter of putting yourself out there more. What you want is so close. What you want is like right on the other side of some shifts in energy that will bring it in. It's not a thing of like, oh my gosh, I've got to get it on the right dating app. I've got to write a perfect profile, or I've got to, make sure that I network more, or I've got to ask people to set me up on blind dates or any of that kind of stuff. It's really not about those kinds of things. I promise you, it's not that. That's not how anybody that I work with actually attracts love. It's in one of the three ways that I described. So, let's see. I'm not sure exactly how long I've been on here. And I'm trying to keep it to about 20 minutes. But I did want to come in and just really, if there's anything that you take away from this, I hope that you remember it's that you don't make love happen, you make love welcome. You are doing so much in your life all the time. You're working so hard to create the life that you want all the time. You're making enough things happen, you know? Love is not something like that. Love is not something that you have to make happen. You really don't. It's all because really, love isn't even a destination. Romantic love with a partner isn't a destination. What what we do in our work together, when I work with my clients, is that we clear out the things that keep them from having the relationship they need to have with themselves. We heal their relationship with their body. We restore their divine blueprint for love, or what they think is possible, what they believe, what they think they can have. Because we all had this divine blueprint, right? We came here with it, and then we had these disappointments happen, or our parents did certain things, or we would absorb, media or society or different things, and we would make these changes to our blueprint and go, well, I guess that's unrealistic. I guess that's not going to happen. I guess maybe love is just like a special thing and it happens for special people. The stars have to align, the gods have to smile on them, and whatever. That's what we do. And we actually need to restore that blueprint. We just need to restore it because we can have it. We received it for a reason. We came into this life with it for a reason, you know. So we really just need to restore it and then clear out the obstacles that we have deep in our subconscious that keep us from believing it's possible. It's not even about like you becoming a better version of you. You're absolutely worthy of love right now. You are worthy of love in this exact moment, not when you lose 5 pounds. It's not when you lose 5 pounds. It's not when you get that other degree. It's not when you get the promotion. It's not once you buy a house. It's not anything like that. You're worthy of it right now in this moment. That's not it. But over time, what happens is we build up beliefs about how hard it's going to be for us, how available it is to us, how scarce it is for us, and we build those beliefs up because of what we've been through. We go through a situation and we create new beliefs, and the purpose of those beliefs is not to lead us astray, but to like protect us from experiencing that thing again, you know. But we can't go to a new place in love with old beliefs and coping. We can't do that. If we want to go to a new place, we've got to have new energy, new tools, new mindset, new outlook. There are old things in our energy that are weighing us down and they need to be released. There are things that we need to let go of. There are things that we've been carrying forward with us, and we've been surprised that we can't create this new love, even though we're carrying all these old beliefs with us, all of this heaviness, all of the things that we haven't forgiven ourselves for. You know, we can have wounds in our energy from breakups, whether they were 5 days ago or 5 years ago. We can have things that keep us from believing that it's possible for us because of different things that happened with an ex, you know. But it's not even about, we want to make sure that we bring this love in because then I can stop growing and I can finally put my bags down and I can, it's like that's not actually what it's about either. It's about us restoring ourselves to wholeness, creating a life that is delicious and brings us deep joy and fulfillment, and inviting someone to join us in that. That's what love actually is. Our soul's journey is that, you know. Love's not the destination. Romantic love isn't the destination. Romantic love and companionship is a beautiful, wonderful um, add on to restoring the relationship with ourselves. Oh, Sabrina, I'm so glad, love. I'm so glad, and I'm so glad that you came in and that you're here. So it's so wonderful to just see your face pop up. Hi, Janelle. Hi. Yeah. So if anyone has questions, either now or you have questions, if someone's watching this on the replay and you have questions, please type in your questions, let me know, and I would be happy to, in the next live stream, go really deep into into that particular question or scenario. Or if you feel more comfortable messaging me directly, you're welcome to message me directly. My direct email is Carisa, Carisa, at Carisa, Carisa, Montooth, Montooth.com. And I'll put that in here as a message. Carisa at Carisa. Ooh, ooh. No, I'm not trying to use any crazy symbols. What happened? That's my email address that you can use. Or if you are wondering how we can work together, because Very often, someone, will be watching this and it just clicks and resonates, and it's like, we need to do this work together. Like this, we need to do this sacred work together. Then I invite you to go to Soul Love Session, which is right here, soullovesession.com, and pick out a time for your Find My Soulmate Now session with me. During your Find My Soulmate Now session, what we will do is you will become inspired and energized and really excited because you'll be able to actually see how close love is for you. You'll be able to clear out the obstacles and understand what those obstacles are that are in the way of what you're trying to create. And you'll also be able to get a very clear picture of what you want in love. Because often we know what we don't want and we're very focused on what we don't want. But by focusing the energy on what we don't want, we actually help perpetuate that pattern of receiving it into our experience more and more. So, what we'll do during that Find My Soulmate Now session is that we will get really crystal clear on what it is that you do want. What does a happy, healthy relationship feel like to you? And also, what are the things that are in the way right now? What are the things that are creating the pattern for you right now? So I will see you in the next live stream, or I'll see you in a private chat, in a Find My Soulmate Now session. So take care. Have a wonderful, lovely night. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching and for being here.